level 7 upgrade. Today I'm going to be installing the Traxxas 2056 waterproof servo. I ended up getting this one used off eBay. Its horns are broken off, but believe me, there is an easy fix for that. As you can see, the steering for Vigilante is not the best. It's really slow. So it's time to upgrade. So the first thing I need to do is remove the receiver tie down. It's held in place with 2 screws. Pull that out of the way, and now I'm gonna go ahead and unplug the servo and then undo it by undoing the 4 screws that hold it in. 2 in the back and 2 in the front. Next up, I'm gonna flip the RC over and undo the single screw that holds on the servo saver. Pop that off, flip it over, and I can finally pull out the servo. When I compare the old servo with the new one, you can see that the dimensions are almost identical. The reason for that is that this is a Traxxas 2055 servo and this one's a 2056. This one is not waterproof. This one is. Now, as much as I would like to go ahead and pull off this top and put it on this one because it's missing its horns, you can see that the dimensions on the side right here are not the same, so I can't do that. The good news is I really don't need to replace these just because how this is positioned in the RC. All the force is going to be held by these 2 back horns. However, I feel like there is something I can do for this. And voila, I went ahead and made my own horns. I had some spare plastic lying around, so I went ahead and cut it to this shape, and then I just sanded down what was left of the old horns and I super glued this on. I did make sure not to super glue it onto this top piece because I want to be able to take this apart in case I ever want to change the case in the future. So now we can go ahead and install this. Just gonna go ahead and slide it into position and then reattach the 4 screws that hold it down. After using a wire tie, I'm gonna go ahead and plug it back into the receiver right into channel 1. Then I'm gonna slide this back into position and reinstall the receiver tie down, which is held in place with 2 screws. Now it's time to go ahead and center the servo. I'm gonna turn on the RC and then center the steering to 0. Then I'm going to line up the front tires and push the servo saver back on. All that's left is reattaching the screw that holds it down. Here's before, and here is after. When I first got this RC, the steering for it was terrible because of that old servo, but with this in here, believe me, it's going to be so much easier driving this RC around. As always, I have to give a big shout out to everyone who's helped me on Patreon. Because of you guys, these upgrades are possible. And that was Vigilante's level 7 upgrade.